Usual Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So just greetings, and we've got some technology here simply because people are complaining that they like what I'm saying, but they can't see me. So so yeah, I know. So I've had to go and get this contraption. So please bear with me. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I get so much flack for simply saying what I say. So much flack, and yeah, exactly. And I think
don't like it, they can unfollow you.
yeah, well, exactly.
That's the interesting thing, because the bloody idiot doesn't unfollow him.
But no, people
That's
don't.
the thing.
Yeah,
Certain person.
yeah. So people, I think more and more we're starting to question what's going on with our lives, and those who are holding on to some hope of normality are finding anything that you question really difficult to handle. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a question of that they're bad or anything. It's like we can see everything is changing. We can see there are like questions that we are starting to ask ourselves on the impact of all of this on our lives, on well-being, all that kind of stuff. And now with what I find sacred, whenever have you heard in humanity that people have not been allowed to celebrate? Just ask yourself this question. You can't sing.
We were singing this morning.
Good. You can't hug. Surely something must be ringing a bell. Surely. And I think more and more people are starting to recognize what it means. And I think as a result, it's really because it is this, however you want to see it, but this duality, there's the ego bit that wants control, that wants all of this stuff. I'm not talking about individual ego. I'm talking about like the collective of wishing to control others. And then there's those who don't want to be controlled. Just let us lead a life without clothes on our faces, or we can't, I heard somewhere the other day it was something like 80 or 90% of your communication is nonverbal. And if you take this off, I mean, the impact is significant. The impact is really significant. So I think we need to question it. Can't shy away from it. Can't shy away from it. Need to question it. There's no two ways. Otherwise, history will judge us like we judged the Nazis. This is something ain't right. Something doesn't make sense. Not just something, the whole just setup. So, in order to meet the restriction guidelines, we all have to operate within certain parameters, support, education, training. So what I have decided is to make whatever we're delivering now in a very structured format. So within all these sessions that we're doing, there's a structured process. It's not just about meditation. It's by providing, okay, let's move through this in a way that we have some understanding and then we have some practice. Yeah, structured education in order to make sure we get the best out of each other, right? And also the restrictions are guidelines are followed, provided they don't encroach on my freedom. Yeah, I'll follow them as long as they don't encroach on my freedom. But if they do, then I will question them. And so, and I think we're all coming to that point. So what I wanted to look at was, the first thing is perspective. So we begin first with recognizing something called worldview and perspective. How you see the world. How you see the world is not the way life is. It's how we've been trained to see it. And this is a hard one to understand, to grasp and then realize. but it's true. Someone who's born in an Islamic country, for argument's sake, will have a very different worldview than someone born in, say, the Netherlands or in the USA or in an indigenous community in Brazil. Different worldviews. So one of them may look all around and say, the tree's talking to me, the clouds are singing to me, while the other one thinks, when's the next iPhone coming? Different worldviews. If our worldview the mirror image of our worldview is our identity, right? Our identity, our self-image. And even this is a construct. It's something that's artificially created, meaning it's conditioned through language, blah, blah, blah. If this sense of self is what we call our ego sense, it's egoic, but it's not like Freudian ego, right? It's just our so when you close your eyes and there is this little voice that talks, that you can hear yourself, the one that thinks it is sitting here listening to me, is really an illusion. It's illusion, meaning it's not that it doesn't exist, meaning it's not real. It's a tool you're using in order to navigate life. It's a tool. So don't make the tool you. Don't make the tool you. You're just using a mask. It's just a mask that conveniently fits. And you work with it. Yeah. That mask that we work with 12 months ago, that sense of self is completely shifted. The sense of self is threatened because what it considered to be normal and safe is no longer safe. Everything's changed. And the change has been quite dramatic. So there are two ways you can approach this. And this is where the worldview becomes really a tool that you use, but not get caught up in the prison. And the way we use this tool is either you approach something with fear, I don't want it to change. That's what fear will be. If we grasp onto something, we don't want it to change, including ourselves. We don't want it to change. And that will always generate fear. Always. If you're trying to hold on to something that is in a constant state of change, can't do it. Many relationships go a bit haywire when this expectation of things to remain the same is not met. Because everything is changed, right? So if we try and hold on to some of these things, we realize there's actually very little that you can hold on to. Very little. In fact, I would go as far as saying there's nothing. Nothing you can hold on to. So according to the Sikh worldview, there are three things that accompanies a human being. One, family. Family, friends, social. They accompany you. They're your friends. Yeah, they're accompanying you. They're yours. They're only yours as long as you're alive. Two, wealth. Wealth is yours as long as you're alive. But the moment you're not, someone else's. And the third thing is what we do and how we live our life, our actions. And our actions don't just determine this moment, but they determine the next moment. So if we are in a state of fear, holding on, then our actions are determined by that. So how do we shift the perspective? Well, it's about taking your stand. And what does that mean? That doesn't mean we want things to go this way or that way. We are not concerned about that. We step back. That's what it means to hold your ground. Watch the play unfold. And the moment we change our perspective from I don't want change to, wow, new possibilities. there's a level of that same egoic state goes from being contracted to opens up. Excited. Wow, what are the possibilities? What really are the possibilities? Let's really look at this. Let's grab it. Let's look at the possibilities of how you can use whatever's going on to develop a life that provides you with comfort, humanity, security, positive emotion, and growth. That change in attitude, that change in perspective, that change in attitude, that change in perspective, which we're holding on to, right? Don't need really serious therapy here, fairly serious. This is just fundamental. Once you get it, you think, oh man. Once you see it for what it is, so what's the point? What's the point? So in Buddhism, there's a beautiful story, right? It's said that there's an individual running on the edge of a cliff, being chased by a tiger. And so he goes over the cliff, climbs down this little rope or vine, and beneath him, he sees there's another tiger. So above him, there's a tiger. Beneath him is a tiger. Looks up again, and now there's a rat chewing at this stem. So what does he do? There's a strawberry in front of him. So what does he do? And the answer is, taste the strawberry. Taste the strawberry. Look at what is now in the moment. What is being cut at the top, whether you're going to drop, makes no difference. If we take that moment, life, even little things, become really exciting. And this is something we discussed last time, a few weeks back, that, we use that mantra Vaheguru. Well, Vahe means like wow. It's like a child. So when a child, because we have this little mask thing on, we don't experience life in the same way as we did when we were little, when we were children, when we had innocence, when we were semi-hypnotized with the world. We still have that. That's what life's about. That is what life's about. All of these other dramas, they're of no consequence. Change your priorities. Change your priorities. And by changing your priorities, everything around you changes. So, how do we begin to create a state within us in which we can navigate through this change? That's all we need. Just need some directions, right side of the wind, and off you go. Let it go. It's a bit dramatic, but you know what? It's going to calm down. But at the moment, it's going to go through a shakeup. And this shakeup's going to be here for a while. I'd say for a while. This lockdown stuff is not going to go away for a few months yet. That's what we expect. Because it's this contraction, release. Contraction, release. It's classic behaviorism. Classic. If you see it, if you know how you're being trained, you can see how you're being trained. Would you like 4 days for Christmas? Yeah? But you're going to have to give a month away. Bargain. See what I mean? Fundamental techniques of torture. And it's not acceptable for humanity to go through this. It's just not acceptable. So life has brought a change, and it's coming through now. We were just semi-hypnotized before, and we were lost in the illusion of this is normality. We're realizing now that that was a different kind of control. This is a different kind of control. And we just need to have our sovereignty back. And all that means is look at life for what it is. Try not to hold on to that which is changing. Look at the possibilities. What can you do? What can you contribute? How can you move forward? What can you give? What is going to be your gift to humanity now when it's going through its crisis? What's your gift? You can sing a song? It's a gift. And if we take that opportunity to look at life like this, something within us begins to shift. That energetic shift is a shift that goes from fear to openness. And that's a profound way of encountering what you find of resistance. Just opens everything up. Yeah? So this is looking at our worldview, and you will find all your judgments are worldview. Doesn't matter what they are. They're all worldview. Mine are. But I have different ones. I have a Punjabi worldview when I'm with my mum. I have one with Push, with the center. I have one with you guys. These are all different worldviews. You just use the mask you have to use, but you know that this is functional for where we are. Just being honest with yourself. And when we meditate, we just drop back. We go into the state of awareness. And the second fundamental truth that I'd like to share with you is this. Since everything around you is changing, if you look within yourself now, just close your eyes, look within, to just sense yourself, and then you come out, listen to what I'm saying, and then you look in again. And you notice you're the same. Nothing's changed about you. Nothing's changed about you, but everything's changed around you. So if your breath is changing, can't be you, can it? Because it's changing, but you're not. If your thoughts are changing, they can't be you either. So all events begin to show themselves for what they are. It's like having an LSD trip. It's like everything just, so I'm told. So, so it's like everything just becomes a virtual reality, And once we begin to become more and more aware of awareness itself, this unchanging part of ourselves, and we begin to recognize what's there. So we just become inquisitive. That's all I'm saying. In knowing ourselves, inquisitive, knowing ourselves. And in doing so, you will realize that there's lots there. There's a huge amount there. There is silence there, there's stillness there. Those are the hallmarks. Once you kind of feel that a bit, you're there. And the next is, it just reveals itself. You just need to look. And in that, humanity will find its spirituality. In that, we will find our connection with ourselves, with others, and with the world itself. So the perspective that we're moving through is a change in a worldview. That was the dominant worldview. We're now going towards another worldview, but there is a third worldview. It's a constant changing thing. And if you see it like that, then you don't get too attached with it. Yeah? But the worldview that's changing is the worldview in which control is being undone. Yeah? That's all. So it's a good thing. It's an auspicious thing. It's a time to celebrate. But all I would say is change your worldview. And if you change your worldview, you can change your identity. How cool is that? You're no longer your past. No, you're no longer the victim. This is where therapy helps. Once you see this, once you see the worldview, this is it. It is the fundamentals of any good relationship with yourself. Because it's your own judgments that you're giving yourself in whatever we do. Yeah? Okay, enough about worldviews today, yeah? So we'll go into our meditation. Is that okay? Okay, so as usual, we gently close our eyes and close our mouths. So what we're going to go through is the mantra meditation again. And So we're going to first try and become aware of the body, and then we're going to use our breath to become aware of some sound, and we're going to then repeat a particular syllable, and the syllables are Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru. And we make this then quite loud, and then we reduce the volume and we go within ourselves and we go into a space of silence. And then we'll see where we end up. Okay, so eyes are closed, mouth is closed. And as you breathe in, becoming aware of yourself, just sensing your body as best as you can. Now, you may notice that your mind begins to distract you as you're trying to become familiar with what's going on within you, kind of sensing yourself. You may start thinking stuff. So whenever you find yourself distracted, use your breath, and as you breathe in, becoming aware of yourself again. From your head all the way down to the soles of your feet. So you're not imagining yourself, you're not thinking about yourself, but you're sensing yourself, getting a feel of yourself. And you notice it's not defined. It doesn't have fine lines. There's a sense of it. Now you're going to bring your focus to your sensations. So your intention is to recognize what's going on in the body. So bring your focus first to whatever you're sitting on. And notice that there are sensations where your body makes contact with your chair or your seat. You'll also notice that you are held, that the chair holds you. So if you were to let go, you're not going to go anywhere. And not are you just held by the chair, you can't be anywhere else. You can only be where the ground beneath you can hold you. Hold the chair. You can only breathe the air that's in front of you. You can only be in the space that you're in. So begin to notice how embedded you are in this moment. That in this moment, your body can't go a moment forward or a moment backwards. In other words, you can only be present in the moment of now, or your body is. Your mind doesn't need to be, but your body is. From those sensations where the body makes contact with your chair, as you breathe in, bring your focus up towards your hips. Okay, so now you have some awareness of your hips. And as you breathe out, bring this focus down your thighs. So here you might be able to soften your thighs a little bit. From your knees, see if you can move this focus down towards your ankles. Again, just sensing this part of the body as best as you can. Then moving to your ankles and your feet. So take a note of your feet now. And then move your focus to the soles of your feet, if you can. Bringing your awareness back to the chair. As you breathe in, Bring this awareness up your back towards your kidneys, around your lower back, and begin to notice any sensations that are there. So it's around the lower back, near your kidneys too. And on your next breath in, bring this focus up towards your middle back. And again, we just notice what's happening here. Notice there are movements of your chest and the back as the breath comes in. And there's movements as the breath goes out. So these movements are happening by themselves. And with these movements, there are sensations. See if you can notice the sensations around your chest and the back. And then as you breathe in, bring this focus up towards your shoulder blades. Then becoming aware of your shoulders. Now notice that your shoulders are not hunched. And if you want, you can slowly pull them back a little bit. And as you breathe out, bring this focus down to your elbows. Moving to your wrists. Palms of your hands. And then see if you can notice your fingers. Bringing your focus to your eyes. Notice the darkness. Allow your eyes, this part of the body, to soften. Move your awareness to your mouth. Allow your tongue to soften. See if you can notice the sensations on the surface of your tongue. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth. Allow your face to relax. And as you breathe in, once again becoming aware of your body, now move your focus to your chest. And see how you're feeling. Notice how you're feeling. Does this moment feel comfortable, pleasant, settled, peaceful? Or is this moment uncomfortable, unpleasant, unsettled? How do you feel within yourself? And now gently bringing your focus just beneath your nose. Begin to notice the movement of your breath. So your focus is just beneath your nose. When you find that your focus has drifted, you've started thinking about something, notice the distraction, and then bring your focus back beneath your nose. You have to use a little bit of effort to hold it in place. Soon it becomes easier. Watching the in-breath moving in, watching the out-breath moving out. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Notice that there are 4 parts to your breath. The in-breath that comes in, there's a gap. The out-breath that goes out, and a gap. Stay with your breath. Now begin to follow your out-breath all the way till the end. And with every out-breath, allow your body to relax just a little bit further. Stay with your breath. Now bring your focus to the sound of your breath. Try and see if you can listen to the sound as the breath comes in and the breath goes out. Listening to the in-breath as it comes in, listening to the out-breath as it goes out. And now as the in-breath comes in, mentally say the sound, Wa-he. As the breath goes out, you mentally say the sound, Guru. And you simply listen to it as you're saying it to yourself. So you can just say this mentally, repeating to yourself, synchronized with your breath. Vahe on the breath in, Guru on the breath out. Vahe on the breath in, Guru on the breath out. Mentally reciting it to yourself and listening to it. Stay with your breath, stay with the sound. Remember, there are four syllables. Va, he, gu, gu. And now, very gently, we begin to whisper that to ourselves. Listen to the sound. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Whispering, only you can hear your whisper. Stay with the sound, stay with the whisper. And now, very gently, we begin to raise the volume. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. Begin to lower the volume. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. And then mentally repeating it to yourself. Mentally listening to it as you're repeating it within yourself. And now start to begin to lower the volume within yourself. allowing that volume within you to fall lower and lower until it becomes nothing but a pulse. Listening, listening. On your next breath out, just open your awareness and begin to allow all the sounds around you to be present. Listening, listening to that which is within you, listening to that which is outside of you. Just listening. Sitting in silence, listening. Listening. Going back to the silence. Notice the qualities of your experience as best as you can. If this feels peaceful, then notice the peace. If it feels silent, then notice the silence. A place where we have no worldviews, just awareness. Gently bringing your focus just beneath your nose and just sitting with your breath. Stay with your breath. On your next breath out, become aware of your body as best as you can. Notice that you're sitting on the same chair. Notice how still the body feels. You can sense your thighs all the way down to your feet. Hands, shoulders, arms are comfortable and relaxed. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, your face is relaxed. Your breath is breathing by itself. Just sit with your breath. Notice as the breath comes in, there are subtle changes in the body. You can sense your body. And as the breath goes out, you can sense your body. Allowing each in breath to bring energy into your body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few slow, deep breaths in, taking your time, and in your own good time, opening your eyes, bringing some of that peace back with you. Everyone back? So in that practice, we try to mix 2 or 3 things: body scan, a little bit of transcendental meditation, and then just awareness, Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today. Be safe. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Yeah. And if there's anything we can do, let us know, as usual. Join some of our other classes like the Qigong, the yoga, all this kind of stuff. It's really good. No? It's really good.
Mention that the kids, the December.
Oh yes,
What we're doing.
yes, December the 6th. Is it December the 6th, isn't it?
December the 6th.
Yeah. December the 6th.
I hope so. I'll be sending it out to all my
Yeah, excellent. December the 6th, we've put together like a short 2.5 hour, 3 hour session. We brought in some really smart people to tell us about what's going on in to do with mental health, with young people, with children, with parents, with everyone. Just the kind of impact that it's having. Um, and then we've got a couple of friends of ours from London who are going to be presenting how to recognize, particularly within young people, um, signs of stress and signs when things aren't going quite the right way. So Eduardo and Judith from London will be bringing their kind of psychotherapy stuff together, really valuable. And then Joe and I are going to be presenting a kind of a consciousness approach where, whether you have panic attacks, whether you have anxiety, stress, or self-harm, etc., whatever concerns that you have to do with your own self or with others, we're going to provide practical solutions. This is what you do. This is how you do it. This is how long you do it. And we're trying to make sure that people get proper help as best as what we can provide. Yeah. So it's not an alternative to whatever else is out there. It's simply saying that what we're finding is so many people coming to us saying, we need help now. Right? We just can't wait for 6 weeks for the GP to come back to us or whatever.
6 months of cancer.
Really?
Yeah. Very, very least. 6 months at least.
Yeah. So you can see where we're going with this. So this is one of the initiatives, and we think, we think that this initiative has legs, that it can hopefully provide something much bigger. As you can obviously see that this December isn't going to be any different than November's been, maybe a bit more fireworks. But that's about it, really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
The
So
difference is with this event, we're actually offering practical solutions. So when parents are actually seeking help, they can't even get in to see their doctor's surgery. Then they're going into these specialised organisations that deal with kids, and their referral is go and see your doctor. At least with what we're doing with this event, we are offering